Members, good morning. It's the appointed time we have a quorum. I call to order the meeting of the panel on development. Election of chairman and deputy chairman of the panel in 2025 session. The Secretariat has sent a circular to inform members that only one valid nomination for chairman had been received. The person nominated is Dr. Low Wai Kwok, nominated by Mr. Tony Te and seconded by Mr. Kenneth Lau. Dr. Low is not the chairman or deputy chairman of other panels or related government advisory bodies. Therefore, in accordance with the rules of procedure and the House rules, I declare Dr. Low is elected chairman of the panel on development. Congratulations to Dr. Low. I'll let Dr. Low chair the meeting from now on. Thank you, members, for your support. Thank you for your trust as well. Let's move on to the next agenda item. Election of Deputy Chairman. The Secretariat has sent a circular to inform members that only one valid nomination for Deputy Chairman had been received. The person nominated is Mr. Andrew Lam, nominated by Mr. Edward Lau and seconded by Mr. Bill Tang. Mr. Andrew Lam is not the chairman or deputy chairman of other panels or related government advisory bodies. Therefore, in accordance with the rules of procedure and the House rules, I declare Mr. Andrew Lam is elected chairman of the panel on development. Congratulations to Mr. Andrew Lam. Moving on to the next agenda item, schedule of meetings for the 2025 session. I suggest we follow the arrangements of the previous session. Let's continue to hold meetings at 2:30 p.m. on the fourth Tuesday of each month. If members agree, please refer to the proposed schedule of meetings table in front of you. The next meeting is scheduled for the 28th of January 2025. But it is the last day of Lunar Chinese New Year, so we'll have to make a change. We may consider advancing the meeting to the 24th of January 2025 at 8:30 a.m. Any views, Mr. Ma Fong Kwok? Well, Chairman, I cannot make it on the 24th of January 2025. Any other members couldn't make it? Well, what if we advance the meeting to the 21st of January 2025? Well, I believe if we advance the meeting to the 21st, it'd be difficult for the administration to prepare documents. We have to take into account conference room availability at the council as well. Let's consider further arrangements after the meeting. For the meeting in April, it will be held on the 22nd of April. We may consider putting back the meeting to the 29th of April 2025. It will be held at 2:30 p.m. Any views on this date? No. So we'll change the date of the meeting to the 29th of April 2025. The meeting on the 28th of January will be advanced to the 24th of January. For the meeting on the 22nd of April, it will be put back to the 29th of April. Next agenda item, items for discussion at the next meeting. As I mentioned, the next meeting will be scheduled for the 24th of January 2025 at 8:30 a.m. The administration proposed to discuss the following two items. The first item is suggestions on the development of the new territories North Newtown and Matolong. The second item is the proposed amendments to the Land Titles Ordinance Cap 585. Any views on these two items? As for the work plan of this session, as per usual arrangements, Deputy Chairman and I will meet with the Secretary for Development to discuss the work plan of the panel. Do members have any suggestions on the items to be discussed in the session? I will open the floor for members to express their views. 4 members in the lineup: Mr. Michael Tin, Mr. Tony Tan, Mr. Ambrose Lam, and Mr. Bill Tang. Let's start with Mr. Michael Tin. Any views? From Northwest New Territories to Sunny Bay to the artificial island, that is a Cross Bay link. It will be commissioned in 2037 to 2038 if we start right now, and there will be a population intake of hundreds of thousands. This project is actually imminent, and we should discuss this project. If we are not going to develop the artificial islands, how can we better face the construction project? In relation to the planning of Two Moon West, we have an extension line leading from Two Moon Pier all the way to another area. And this has to do with the development in the Northwest in the new territories. It has to do with infrastructural development in relation to the landfill in Sunny Bay, South Lantau, ecological and recreational corridor, as well as the Two Moon River. These have been discussed for a period of time. What is the progress of the discussion? The Secretary has noted down your views. Thank you, Mr. Michael Tin. Next, Mr. Tong Li-Tse. Thank you, Chairman. I hope Chairman will discuss it with the administration. I'd like to discuss two items. At present, for the OZP of the Town Planning Board, especially for column 1, will it change over time, or will new uses be added to the list? Say renewable energy. We didn't have it in the past. However, in view of the latest developments to have new facilities on land, can we factor in new renewable energy, and is it possible to make adjustments to the column? The column didn't cover all the uses, and as time changes, we may have to make changes as well. An example is in the Elderly Service Center. Do we need to allow flexibility in the land use? We shouldn't be rigid. We should allow flexibility. On conservation, we have done quite a lot. But how can we make good use of conservation to improve in-depth tourism? How can we give full play to our strengths to appeal to tourists from other areas? What have we done? What is the collaboration with other policy bureaus? Thank you. The Secretary has noted down your views. Thank you. Mr. Ambrose Lam. There are two matters close to my heart. Hong Kong planning standard and guidelines as an example. We have a lack of parking spaces in Hong Kong. The Hong Kong PSG has restrictions in relation to parking spaces. There's a lack of them in Hong Kong. In relation to the amendments to the Buildings Ordinance, the Secretary for Development said that the legislative amendments would be put forward in the next legislative year. Say the trading of unauthorized structures, and this has a profound impact on barristers and solicitors, as well as town planners and surveyors. The intermediaries may have to shoulder criminal liabilities. In the future, do we need to engage a surveyor or a planner to check the buildings or units that we're going to purchase? And this will in turn increase the cost of property transactions. So I suggest discussing this item in a panel meeting. Thank you. Next member, Mr. Bill Tang. The Protection of Harbor Ordinance is expected to be passed in this year. As I understand, the landings facilities are close to the heart of many people in Hong Kong. It is of great concern to me. We need to make better use of the two sides of the Victoria Harbour. Is there any new plan following the Protection of Harbour Ordinance? I look forward to a report from the Development Bureau. There are two items close to my heart in the outstanding list of discussion. One, the landfill proposals. The reclamation proposals. What is the progress of the nearshore reclamation? We need to give people in Hong Kong confidence that we will create land. So I look forward to the discussion of the eighth item, that is the nearshore reclamation. In relation to the squatter areas, I also expect more discussions in this area. In the past, we expressed our concerns as well. Let's see if we have any concrete policies to discuss with the Development Bureau in this year. Let's see what we can implement. Next, Mr. Edward Lau. Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to discuss three matters. As Mr. Tung Lee mentioned, we need to develop planning. I agree. In relation to the land use efficiency, especially that in the new territories, through adverse possession, or for the village road in the new territories, if we cannot locate the title owner without a signature on these owners, waivers cannot be applied for. So how can we release these parcels of land? In relation to streamlining land control measures, say professional certification or recognition, how can we streamline land policies or land covenants, land leases, and so on? I hope the Bureau will come to the panel to discuss this area with us. Next, there are farming areas in the northern metropolis. Three of them have a development plan announced, and we are going to discuss another area, that is the boundary commerce and industry zone. The Security Bureau is working on tourism in Sha Tau Kok. In relation to blue and green recreation tourism and conservation circle, what about the transport arrangements? What about the infrastructural developments? All these have to do with the development of tourism. We don't necessarily need a detailed plan, but do we have a skeleton plan? which bureau will be responsible for which area? Thank you.
All right, the clerk has noted your views, Mr. Andrew Lam. I would like to make 2 points. In last year's list of outstanding items for discussion, it was said in January of this year we would talk about the policies related to adverse possession, but now it is not the case. So I hope we can discuss the report made by the Law Reform Commission on adverse possession as soon as possible, because it is really a pressing issue. It would also help with the issue mentioned by Mr. Lau Kok-fun in the new territories. We've also talked about urban-rural integration before, but the government has not had any policy support or plans really to promote this, and I think we can discuss the various aspects, including transportation or other facilities, to do that. Thank you. Your views are noted, Mr. Yu Pak-leung. Many members have mentioned the points that I wanted to mention, especially Mr. Tony Tse talked about how we can develop antiquities and monuments further and combine that to promote tourism. But let me also say this, for the improvement of harbor facilities, we should continue to pay attention to this issue. As Mr. Tan Ka-piu said, with the amendments of the Protection of the Harbor Ordinance, we should be able to take forward various improvement works of harbor facilities. And the pier improvement program was proposed in 2017, but then we have seen slow progress. And in fact, we haven't seen some of the pier improvement works proposed take forward even. So I hope that the government can expedite the relevant progress. Thank you. All right. Thank you. We heard your views on the items proposed to be discussed for this session. If you have any ideas after the meeting, you may write to the Secretariat and we will discuss such with the Development Bureau. But whether we can actually discuss the various items proposed, it may not be the case. We have too many of such and we need to set priorities. The Deputy Chairman and I will meet with the Development Bureau representatives in due course and we'll discuss such. All right. That's it for this item. The next item is any other business. There being no other business, meeting adjourned. Thank you.